Good morning, boys and girls. Today's lesson is on the new writing format of the Cefr syllabus. It is paper 2. In this new writing format, there are 3 parts: part 1, part 2, and part 3. But in this lesson, we will focus on part 1 only. Part 1 is actually a short communication message. In this case, an email, whereby you are asked to give a short response of about 80 words. It is an informal email, so very likely you will be asked to write to a friend or a close relative. For example, your aunt or your uncle or even your grandma. It can be anyone. Your essay is 20 marks. You will be marked under the 4 criteria or descriptors: content 5 marks, communicative achievement 5 marks, organization 5 marks, language 5 marks. Altogether 20 marks. Let me give you a brief explanation of each criteria or descriptor. Content. Under content, you must fulfill the requirements of the question. If you are given 3 questions or points to respond, you must follow. Anything less will affect your marks. Your content must be relevant to the task or, in this case, question, and with enough information to make the reader understand what you are writing about. In communicative achievement, you must write in the correct genre and format, which means if you are asked to write an email, make sure that you are writing an email and not a short essay. You must remember to use appropriate language, as you must remember it is an informal email. In organization. Now, this is an important part, as your ideas must flow and make sense. Here, you must know the connectors or linkers to be used for an informal email. But please do not overdo, which means 2 to 3 linkers will be good enough, and do not try to repeat them. The last descriptor or criteria is language. It is actually your grammar. Remember to use appropriate grammar. Do not mix up your tenses, which will affect your marks. I hope you understand. Your teacher will be able to revise this section with you in due time. Let's get down to learn how to write a good email. Before you actually begin your essay or your email, take into consideration 4 points to remember so that your email will be good. Remember, this is a short communication message. The 4 points are tone, vocabulary, content, and linkers, which is also connectors. We will begin with point 1, the tone of your email. It is friendly and informal, casual and relaxed, and at the same time, polite. In this email, abbreviation is allowed. Example, can't or shouldn't. Let's read through this short letter. It will give you an idea of what a friendly tone means, or informal way of writing. Dear Bill, I hope this letter finds you well. How are your parents doing? Have you gotten the letter from the university yet? I wanted to tell you about how my summer has been. I've gotten a lot accomplished with the boat I have been building and those renovations on the attic that I have been helping my dad with. Since we are nearly done, I wanted to invite you to visit sometime soon. The summer hasn't been all work and no play, though. I met up with a few of our old friends, Jim, Anne, and Tom. We saw a really good movie that I think you will like. It's about time travel and right up your alley. Next week, I'm taking a break and heading down to the beach for a few days. Anyway, I hope you have been enjoying a summer, and I hope you can come and visit soon. It will be great to catch up before we go back to school. Your friend, Sam. Point 2. Your vocabulary must be precise and you have a variety. Remember to make your vocabulary interesting. Let's go through some examples here. To get a sense of how formal and informal diction, which means vocabulary, affects the message, consider these greetings. Formal. Hello, young man. It is a true pleasure to make your acquaintance. How are you feeling today? Informal. Hi, kid. Nice to meet you, yeah? What's up? Next one. Formal. The man spoke to his father in a low voice, so others could not hear. Informal. That guy told his dad secrets. And the last one, formal. Her terrible anger won't endear her to many if she refuses to control her outbursts. Informal, if she doesn't stop yelling, she'll lose all her friends. This is an example of formal and informal vocabulary to be used for your email. I found this list on the internet and I think it is quite good. So do take time to read through and use them in your email. Now let's come to point 3, the content. Content means the content of your email. To keep in mind, what you must write is you must know the topic or the reason why you are writing this email, and give 3 points with some elaboration. Before you begin, make sure that the subject of your email must quickly communicate what you want your friend to read. Come straight to the topic or subject. One thing you shouldn't do though, don't use all caps. It means capital letters. It looks like you're shouting at your friend and he or she will not like it. Just to share with you what I mean by giving 3 points and elaboration. For example, an advice of how to relax. Maybe your friend is very stressed. He is asking you for an advice. Or please give some advice of how he can relax. So it will be good for you to give 3 points with some elaboration. Let me share with you the 3 points. Just suggestions. Remember, these are suggestions. Number 1. I would suggest that you take a slow walk around your garden because the fresh air and beautiful flowers will make you happy. When you are happy, you can relax. Another way to relax is listen to some slow music, as it will calm your nerves. And my last suggestion is you can go shopping, as shopping is a very good therapy to very tense nerves. I hope my suggestions will help you to relax. These are the ways to write the contents of your email. Point 4. Linkers or connectors. Remember that this is an informal email, so the linkers must be appropriate, simple, and only a few. Do not overuse. Again, I found this list to be very helpful from the internet. I've downloaded it and I hope you will take time to look through informal and spoken discourse markers, as well as formal and written discourse markers. Please do take time to read through. This is a good list. Study it well and learn to use them appropriately. After knowing what you need to do, now you must know how to write an email or short email. The first part must be the greeting or salutation. The second part is the body, the contents, and the third part is the closing. This list I took down from the internet to share with you, and it is a breakdown of the 3 parts. Let's run through it. First is the name. Hi, hello, Mary, or just Mary, or no name at all. It means hi. That means in your letter or email, you can just say hi. Okay. Previous contact. Thanks for your email. That means you are referring to the email that you have received from the person. Referring to your email. Sorry, I haven't written for it, but I have been very or really busy. The reason for writing. Now you come to the part where you tell the reason. Just a short note about. I'm writing about. Here is the you wanted. I got your name from. Please note that all this is in a very informal, relaxed tone. Giving information is also equally casual and relaxed and friendly. Just a note to say, we can confirm that good news, unfortunately. Attachments, if there is, I have attached. Here is the you wanted. Asking for information. Can you tell me a little more about? I would like to know. Please send me. So this is a rough breakdown of how you are going to attempt writing your email. Again, I would advise you to run through both the formal and the informal part so that you will have a clearer idea of how to write an informal email. The 3 parts to writing. First part is the greeting, or we call it salutations. When we are greeting someone informally, we don't need to worry so much about what we say. We can use a much more informal hey or hi, or we can just address them by name, like Susan, Mary, John, Ali, Mina, and so on. Or sometimes we can even say hi without saying the name of the person. We can also use more exclamation points or things that emoticons to express excitement and friendliness. Example, hey, hi, hey there, he, hey. All these ways of writing is acceptable. Now, don't forget to use only the first name of the person you are writing to and not Dear Mr. John, which is never used in an informal email, or Dear Mr. John Brown, which sounds too formal. So you should attempt to write Hi John or just Dear John. It will be good enough and it is polite too. You don't have to write Dear Mr. John. It is simply too formal. In the second part, which is the body or where your contents are, first thing you must do is you identify what you need to write. It is here that you reply by giving 2 to 3 points to sustain the subject or topic. Example, can you give me a good recipe of a good chocolate cake? In the previous lesson, I asked for 3 good advice. Here, I ask about getting a good recipe of how to make a good chocolate cake. Now, you give at least 3 reasons with some explanation or elaboration. Yes, elaboration. Example, I want to bake the cake for my brother's birthday because I want it to be personal. I don't want to buy it from the cake shop. Number 2, it is his 21st birthday, which is a very important day, and I want to make it memorable for him. And the last point, I want to make a good chocolate cake because chocolate cake is his favorite cake, and I hope to make him happy on his special day. So 3 points with 3 elaboration or explanation. Remember, in many exam questions, you will be told what to include in your reply. Make sure that you reply answers any questions that you are asked in the task and takes into account any additional information that you have been told to mention. It is important that you include these in order to get a good grade. If they ask you 3 questions, you give them 3 answers. Do not give 2. It will affect your marks. And it will be like you are not relevant or your task is incomplete. Something to that effect. And it will affect your marks. Before we proceed with the lesson, I would like to ask you to take time to copy paste this link in your Google so that it will lead you to Speak English with Vanessa to learn up some important phrasal verbs in English. I encourage you to do it because phrasal verbs are precise and they come straight to the point, and also they're very interesting. It will make your essay very interesting. Remember, this is a short email. It must be precise and you must be able to communicate your meaning straight to the point without wasting any time. So please take time to go through these 50 important phrasal verbs in English with Speak English with Vanessa. The part 3 of your email is the conclusion. Make it positive. Make it that you hope for a reply, and remember to say goodbye greetings. Let's run through a little bit of what I have downloaded from the internet to share with you. Examples of how to conclude an informal letter. In your case, it's an email, but it is almost the same way of using these words and phrases. Adios. Whether or not you speak Spanish, a warm way to end the letter or email. Adios means bye. Number 2, always and forever. Best regards, best wishes, ciao. Emoticons, that means you put the emojis. High five to you, hugs to your parents or hugs to you. Now, the other list. Example endings for an informal letter. I can't wait to hear from you. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. See you soon. Let me know what your plans are. I hope to be hearing from you soon. Send my love to. Give my regards to. I hope you're doing well. Okay, the last list here. Write soon. Write soon. That's all for now. We look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to hearing from you. I hope to hear from you soon. Give my love to your sister. These are examples, don't forget. Give my regards to your parents. My mother sends her love. Well, that's all my news. All these are examples that you can make use of in your email. Learn to use them so that you will have a very interesting and beautiful email, so that you will also, you will be able to give the reader a very positive feeling. And then when the reader has positive feeling, it means you will get good grades. So please take time again to run through it or run through this list and learn to use them. Let's do a sample question. Let me read through. You have received an email from your English-speaking friend. Our teacher has asked us to prepare a talk on what young people in different countries do when they are not at school. Can you help by writing and explaining what it's like in your country? What do young people do at home? Where do they go out and what do they do there? Thanks, Billy. You see, it ends with a thanks. So it shows that this is a good informal email. Now, how do we attempt this essay on the email? Let's first identify what we need to reply to the question of explaining what's like in your country. That means, what do we need to write, or what are we told to write about? Number one, what do young people do at home? Yes, that is the first point you must address. The second point, where do they go out? And the third point, what do they do there? So these are the 3 points that you must answer. Do not answer 2 only and you leave out 1. This will affect your marks. Remember, whatever you are asked to write about, you have to answer. You have to write according to what you are asked to do. Let's answer the first point. The first point is, what do young people do at home? Before you begin writing, do a draft. Write down, scribble here, scribble there on your piece of paper. Write anything that comes into your mind. For example, help to do chores, play online games, text each other, and then you begin your writing. Okay, let's read through. This is a sample only, don't forget. When teenagers are at home here, they spend a lot of time at their computer or handphone. They are either playing online games by themselves or with a group. They like to text each other too. Occasionally, they will help out in the household chores like washing the dishes after meals, watering the plants, and throwing the garbage away. This is not their favorite task though, so they do grumble quite a bit. Many would give excuses that they need to study or have homework to do. Now, this answers the first point. What do young people do at home? Second point, where do they go out? Again, you make a draft. Example of places they go: friend's house, park, cyber cafes, and the malls. And then only you make the attempt of writing. Last point, what do they do there? It means when they go out to that certain place, what do they do there? My advice is, again, you make a draft. Example, chat, exchange serious news, just hang out together, study together, play games together, do projects. So after you have written down these drafts or notes, where you have scribbled your ideas down, now it is time to put your ideas together. This is the content of your essay, where you put all the points together. Remember, each point is answering what you are asked to do. First point, what do young people do at home? Second point, where do they go out? And the third point, what do they do there? Let's read. Explain in great detail, make it interesting. When teenagers are at home here, they spend a lot of time at their computer or handphone. They are either playing online games by themselves or with a group. They like to text each other too. Occasionally, they will help out in the household chores like washing the dishes after meals, watering the plants, and throwing the garbage away. This is not their favorite task though, so they do grumble quite a bit. Many would give excuses that they need to study or have homework to do. Now, answering the second point. Teenagers in my country love to go out too. They love to hang out at one of their friends' house or the mall. Continue with what do they do there? There they chat about everything and exchange news about the latest online games. Sometimes they do talk about serious issues, and very likely they will end up in a heated argument. They will also go to the mall to eat. They love new types of dishes, and they find Korean and Japanese food very interesting. They can be together the whole day, coming home late at night, totally unaware that they have caused their parents to be worried about them. Now, if you remember, when we first started the lesson, this email is about 80 words. You might be wondering that this content is definitely more than 80 words. Now, please keep in mind that I am writing more so that you will have some ideas of what to write. When you actually sit down and write your own email, make sure that it is within the 80 words. This sample here is just an example giving you lots of ideas. And I repeat, when you write your own email, keep within the range of 80 words. Dear boys and girls, before you really attempt writing your email, I would like you to take time to do these exercises as a form of practice to improve your writing task. Please highlight these URL links and copy-paste them onto your browser. Do the exercises one by one. If you have any questions, you can always refer to your teacher. However, I believe that your teacher will run through each exercise with you. Now that you have finished the 3 exercises and have gone through with your teachers, I would now want you to begin your writing task, whereby you will write a full informal email. There are 2 exercises given to you. Make sure you write them properly. Now you begin your first practice by doing exercise 1. Let us read through this question. Inviting a friend. You are studying English at a private language school attended by many international students. You are planning a surprise birthday party for a friend who has been feeling particularly sad and homesick. Write to another classmate and invite him or her to the party. In your email, see, these are the 3 points that you have to answer. In your email, explain the reason for the party, give the date and time of the party, suggest what the classmate could bring to the party. Please take note that you are writing to another classmate and not classmates. And all these 3 points you have to take into consideration. You have to answer and give a short explanation or elaboration. Keep in mind that this email letter is roughly 80 words. So make your email precise and straight to the point, using proper linkers that helps the flow of idea, at the same time interesting, so that the reader's attention is captivated. This is the second exercise where you are asked to write an email of about 80 words in reply. By looking at this email, we will now know that Sabrina will write to Mina to tell Mina which day of the week is her favorite day. This is a reply. In exercise 1, you are asked to write an email to invite another classmate to a surprise birthday party. 3 points are given for you to write on. So in exercise 1, you are guided. You know exactly what you must write on. However, in exercise 2, you will have to write 3 points with some explanation on your own. Of course, you can choose to write only 2 points, but I will suggest that you write on 3 points. That means you state 3 reasons to tell why you like a certain day of the week. Let's read through this email. Dear Sabrina, thank you for your email, and it was great to hear from you. This is very relaxed, very friendly tone of an email. You asked me to tell you about my favorite day of the week. Well, it's definitely Friday. I love Fridays. It's because on Fridays we have PJ, physical exercise. I love PJ lessons because the teacher will allow us to play basketball, which is a game loved by all. On Fridays also, we end school earlier, almost 1.5 hours earlier, to allow our Muslim brothers to go to mosque. I love the early school dismissal as I can go home earlier to eat and sleep. What is more, Friday is the last day of the week to school, and the next day is Saturday. I can relax and do whatever I want. Now, it is your turn to tell me which is your favorite day. I am waiting eagerly for your reply. This email is definitely an informal email where you end with a friendly, hopeful note. I am waiting eagerly for your reply. Now, let's take a little time to find if Mina has given 3 reasons to choosing Friday, or she has given 2 reasons, or perhaps only 1 reason why she chose Friday as her favorite day. I give you a little time to look for the points, and then we will discuss if you have got them correct. Hello, have you found your 3 points? Yes, in this email, Mina has given 3 reasons and her explanation as to why Friday is her favorite day of the week. Let's look at Mina's 3 reasons. Point 1, Mina's first reason. The first reason is, on Fridays, Mina and her friends will have PJ lessons. Her explanation is because the teacher allows them to play basketball, which is a game loved by all. Point 2, Mina's second reason. School is dismissed 1.5 hours earlier, which is definitely a very happy time of the day when you can go home earlier. And explanation is she can go home earlier to eat and sleep. The third reason is Friday is the last day of the week to school. Mina explains this point by stating that the next day is Saturday, which means she's free, she can relax and do whatever she wants. So I hope you will be able to use this method as you write your email. Before we end our lesson, let's be reminded of 5 points. Number 1, read the question properly and answer all the tasks you have been asked to do. Do not leave out any. Number 2, this short email is about 80 words, so try to keep within the range of 80 words. Slightly more is still acceptable, but if over 150 words, it will definitely affect your marks. It means that you are not actually fulfilling the task. You have written points that are not needed, and therefore you are wasting time. Number 3, plan your essay well. It has to be clear and straight to the point. Number 4, use appropriate linkers or connectors. Do not repeat them and do not overuse. It means do not use too many linkers or connectors in your short email. And number 5, use good vocabulary to capture and maintain the reader's attention. And with these points in mind, you will be able to perform very well. We've come to the end of the lesson. I wish you all the best and goodbye.